For years, Hindi cinema watchers believed that Bollywood alone was guilty of mocking their faith. They thought that Hindi cinema was uniquely infected with ideological bias, while regional industries were rooted in tradition. With easier access to regional content on OTT platforms and the trend of multilingual releases, that illusion is now shattered. From Malayalam arthouse films to Tamil political dramas, from Telugu blockbusters to slick OTT series, Hinduphobia has spread far beyond Bollywood. It is now a pan-Indian and even global cultural campaign. The pattern is identical everywhere. Brahmins caricatured as villains, Hindu rituals ridiculed, sacred spaces painted as oppressive, chants linked to violence, icons mocked or distorted. This is not a mere coincidence. It is part of an ideological toolkit. For decades, audiences outside North India flocked to Southern cinema, drawn by its rootedness and respect for tradition. But that space is shrinking. Take the Malayali film The Great Indian Kitchen 2021. Hailed by critics as progressive, it wasn't just a story of patriarchy. It specifically painted the Hindu household, with its rituals and temple-linked customs, as a den of oppression. Domestic conflicts exist across communities, but only Hindu traditions are dragged to the center of the frame. This was not new in Malayalam cinema. Kammattepadam turned caste into a blunt weapon against Hinduism, while films like Varthamanam and Kismat leaned on the same tropes, Hindus as obstacles to love, freedom and justice. Tasaba and Pattabhishekam mocked rituals and the Brahmin lifestyle outright. Tamil cinema has joined the bandwagon too. Pariyerum Perumal and Karnan dressed caste conflict in the garb of art, but ended up demonizing Hindu social life wholesale. Jai Bhim followed suit, portraying Hindu police and caste leaders as oppressors. Even Rajnikant's daughter Aishwarya in Lal Salam staged her film as Hindus versus Muslims, with every Hindu character reduced to a violent bigot and every Muslim framed as noble victimhood. Streaming platforms have amplified the attack. No censors, no restraint, no hesitation. Just unfiltered Hinduphobia. Take Bad Girl. Marketed as a bold, coming-of-age tale, it exaggerated female sexuality through the lens of a Brahmin protagonist. Why Brahmin? Because in the new cultural economy, there is currency in demonizing the gatekeepers of tradition. It sells as radical. Dhadak 2 stirred controversy for misusing caste slurs and misrepresenting caste dynamics in ways that left many viewers feeling it was manufactured outrage, not social commentary. Then there's Phule, a biopic on Jyotiba Phule and Savitribai. As expected of a propaganda film produced to glorify questionable historical characters, the film again chose to paint an entire community as characterologically evil, inciting caste divisions instead of healing and camaraderie. One or two films could be dismissed as a coincidence, but across platforms, across decades, the repetition of the same imagery, Brahmins as oppressors, rituals as cruelty, faith as backwardness, reveals intent. Of course, Bollywood remains the largest exporter of Hinduphobia. From PK to OMG, from Article 15 to Heather, the same patterns echo. Hindu practices are superstition. Hindu figures are hypocrites. Hindu households are oppressive. Deepa Mehta's infamous trilogy, Fire, Earth, Water, found its fame not in India, but in Western circuits hungry to see Hindu tradition dragged through the mud. Even recent films like Adipurush 2023 caricatured the Ramayana itself, reducing Lord Ram, Sita and Hanuman to modernist tropes, while Ravan looked like Osama bin Laden's first cousin. At least in this case, the ridiculous portrayal could be blamed on incompetence rather than malice. The jury is still out. Beyond India, Hollywood has been projecting Hinduphobia for decades. Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom, 1984, depicted Kali worshippers as cannibalistic savages. Slumdog Millionaire, 2008, depicted the sacred Jai Shri Ram chant as a slogan of hatred. Monkey Man, 2024, hijacked Hanuman's imagery to tell a story of abuse at the hands of Hindu leaders. Even comedy shows in the West mock Hindu gods. Saturday Night Live has repeatedly turned sacred deities into slapstick characters. Because with Hinduism, there are no boundaries, no respect, and no consequences. The question is unavoidable. Why is Hinduism the global punching bag? 1. Because it is easy. Hinduism is plural, tolerant, and non-proselytizing. Hindus do not issue fatwas, do not burn down embassies, do not riot in foreign capitals. That restraint is taken for weakness. The second reason is historical. Colonial tropes painted Hindu rituals as barbaric, and modern filmmakers trained in secular settings recycle them, because secularism is Protestant Christianity in plain clothes. Pop culture is not entertainment alone, it is education. For millions worldwide, films and shows are the first window into Hinduism. What do they see? Temples as dens of oppression, priests as predators, chants as hate slogans, women as chained, landlords as brutal, families as suffocating. For young Hindus abroad, this narrative breeds shame. They are taught to see their own culture as regressive and made to feel guilty for simply being born as Hindus. In India, it reinforces mental colonization instead of liberating us. For too long, Hindus were told to take a joke, to accept insult as art, to endure vilification in silence. That era is ending. From boycotts of Adipurush to outrage over Lal Salam, audiences are waking up. They no longer see propaganda as storytelling. They are naming Hinduphobia for what it is. The global content industry cannot have it both ways. They cannot tiptoe around the crimes of modernity and Abrahamic cults while stomping on Hindu dharma. They cannot preach tolerance while practicing bigotry. They cannot call vilification progress. Bollywood started it. The South joined it. OTT amplified it. Hollywood globalized it. But Hindus are done staying silent. Hinduphobia, whether in a village drama, a Netflix series, or a Hollywood blockbuster, will be exposed, resisted, and rejected. Hindu dharma will no longer be your soft target.